This amazing man is called Nicky. One day he was sitting in the VIP seat with his girlfriend Jess watching a football match. The game is happening, but Nicky is paying more attention to the crowd than to what's happening on the field. He sees a pretty girl standing up and walking away. Suddenly, he thinks of a naughty idea. He makes a small bet with Jess, saying, "Let's see how many people look at that girl." One of the men nearby, Lee Yuan, says he wants to join in too, and Nicky agrees. They all playfully bet $10 and start counting. When the girl walks away, the final count shows that 7 people turn to look at her. In this game, Jess guessed the number that was the closest, so she won. Lee Yuan quickly gives her the money and then suggests they start the next round. This time, the bet is about who will make the next mistake. Jess didn't want to bet this round because she didn't know much about the game. But Nicky steps in and places a $1,000 bet. Right after the whistle blows, the referee calls a foul on the team that Nicky bet on. He wins and puts the cash in his pocket. Even though he lost, Lee Yuan is still excited and says, "Let's bet $5,000 this time." Now the question is whether the player will pass the ball or run with it. Nicky is unsure about betting $5,000 but eventually decides to go for it. Lee Yuan thinks the player will run, but Nicky says he will pass. When the whistle blows, the player runs with the ball, and Nicky ends up losing $5,000. Now Nicky thinks it's fine, we lost $5,000. Let's pause and invite Jess to join us for coffee. He wants to go, but Lee Yuan is insisting he stays. He says, "We met at a VIP place where you have to pay a lot of money to get in, so you have money. So why get upset about $5,000? Let's make another bet, this time for $10,000. In the end, Nicky agrees. Now the question is if the player will make the next pass right or not. Nicky thinks they will win, but the other team steals the ball. Now Nicky has lost $15,000. When Nicky takes out the money, he feels a bit upset. He thinks for a bit and says, "Let's bet $50,000 this time." Jess is surprised to hear this, but Nicky looks mad. Right now, he isn't feeling lucky. He loses another bet and has to give away another $50,000. Jess tells him to stop right away, but Nicky's anger and pride get the best of him. Without thinking, he bets $100,000. Lee Yuan laughs and jokes, asking, "Do you really have that much money?" Nicky quietly puts a big stack of cash on the table. When Lee Yuan sees this, he gets excited too. This time, Nicky guesses that the next pass will be caught by the other team and won't work, but the pass actually works. Nicky has lost $100,000. He doesn't know how to fix this problem. Jess is surprised by what he did, but now the game has become very serious. Nicky says, "I have $1 million left. Let's bet all of it. Let's find out who wins this time." The last choice will be made by playing cards. Because Lee Yuan has been winning a lot, he is really excited. He starts seeing Nicky as a way to get money. Lee Yuan picks up his card. It's a 5 of clubs. Now Nicky just needs to pick a card that is more than 5. He has a good chance of winning. Nicky takes a card and flips it over confidently, but it's the 3 of hearts. When Jess saw this, she quickly fell off her chair. When Nicky started playing, he only meant to bet $10, but now he had lost over $1 million. After such a terrible loss, he didn't have anything to say. He gently took Jess's hand and began to walk out. He was really upset, but Lee Yuan kept making fun of him. He said, "This is what happens when you go against the master." Nicky paused and made another bet, this time for $2 million. Now the idea changed a bit. Nicky said that Lee Yuan could pick any random player using a telescope, and if Nicky guessed the player's jersey number right, he would win. Lee Yuan felt a bit confused. He said, "It's like reading minds." It seemed like Nicky was preparing to fail. Lee Yuan began to think that Nicky might be unfaithful. To clear his doubt, Nicky said, "All right, I won't guess. This time, Jess will do it." Jess gave Nicky an angry look. She was confused about what was going on. She said, "With so many people here, how can I guess the right jersey number?" As she tried to walk away, a security guard from Lee Yuan stopped her, and they got into a little scuffle. Jess relaxed a bit. Nicky told her to look around on the ground and pick a number that felt right to her. Lee Yuan took the binoculars and picked a player. Then Jess used the binoculars to look over the whole field. She saw jersey numbers all around her. How could she know which one to pick? Then she spotted a face she recognized and remembered what Nikki had said about choosing the number that felt right for her. Their friend Farhad was wearing shirt number 55. Jess realized that this was all a part of Nikki's plan. She said, "Number 55," and it was the right answer. Li Yuan was surprised. Jess began to think about how Nikki knew Li Yuan would pick that number. But it didn't matter at the time. They had already won the bet. They both made a $1 million profit and recovered all the money they lost. They walked out of the stadium with 2 big bags of money. In the car, Nikki told Jess that it was all part of their plan. They had been watching this wealthy man for a long time. Li Yuan was well known among rich people for being addicted to gambling. He wanted to play a game. So, Nikki made the whole team prepare beforehand. Since he was going to watch the match today, his team started influencing his thoughts as soon as he left the hotel. There was the number 55 on a sign. The security guard's pin when he left the hotel was number 55. Near the stadium, all the signs along the road were also number 55. They even purposely showed him a picture of Farhad earlier. In addition to changing visuals, there was also sound added. Nikki had his friends pick a song called New in Advance. In this song, the sound WKU, which sounds like 55 in Chinese, is said 124 times. Li Yuan, feeling slightly influenced and already having won over $1 million, almost followed his instincts because he thought it was his lucky number. Jess had no idea about this, so all her reactions were real and never made anyone suspect anything different. After Nikki finished explaining, Jess thought he was really impressive. But she didn't know that she was the one who had been planned for the longest time. A few days before, Nikki was on a bed in a room with Jess next to him, and a man was holding a gun to his head. Jess was sitting next to him. He had only met her recently. It was obvious that someone had caught Nikki, but he didn't look scared at all. He said calmly, "I don't have any money. If you want to do it, go ahead." The man with the gun saw how Nikki reacted and quickly understood that Nikki was smart, even smarter than he was. And he was exactly right. Nikki was a skilled thief who was good at stealing small things. Jess had tricked Nikki into coming to that room, but Nikki noticed that Jess had a real talent. At that time, Jess didn't get anything. After the man with the gun walked away, Nikki said to Jess, "You have a special talent. If you get better at tricking people, you can have a really nice life." Nikki said, "This is our family business. My dad and his dad were all dishonest people. It's in our blood to be tricksters. Every trick and every move feel like a game to us." Jess quickly took out some money and said, "I want to learn from you." Nikki said yes. As he walked out, he took one of Jess's rings, and she didn't notice it. By the time she realized what happened, her watch was gone too. When she put the watch in her bag, Nikki had already taken her wallet. After doing all those tricks, Nikki said, "It's about quick hands, good timing, and a bit of flair. That's all you need for this job." Then Nikki said goodbye and went away. A few months later, Nikki got a place in New Orleans to find more members and start his work. As he thought, Jess found him. Actually, this was an interview to find out if Jess really wanted to be part of the team. After Jess joined, Nikki had the team leader take her out. Today was a carnival, which was a great chance for Jess to begin. While Jess was walking and looking at a map, asking someone for directions, her teammate quietly took the other person's camera lens. A teammate deliberately bumped into someone walking by, and Jess, who was right behind, quickly grabbed the wallet. Seeing how simple it was, Jess felt more confident. She quickly grabbed a wallet from someone else's bag using chopsticks. Nikki watched from upstairs and told his teammates to stay calm. He said it was time to let Jess show her skills on her own. So, Jess confidently showed what she could do, collecting many items while Nikki admired her. Nikki was really happy with how Jess did, so he took her to a bigger park. There was no need to warm up. They just started working right away. To do this job, you have to be very quick so they don't have time to respond. Nikki didn't say anything to her, but he showed her a new way to gamble using technology. Thanks to special contact lenses that can see through cards, The important player on the other side decided to bet everything, but ended up losing in just one round. Besides the crazy tricks at the poker table, they also offered credit card services. After taking a card from a pocket, it was quickly given to a teammate. The teammate used a device to secretly read the information on the card and then put it back into the person's pocket. By the time the victim realized what happened, all the money was already taken. They even created fake covers for ATMs to help with their scam. After people took out their money and left, Farhad would take away the cover that showed the new passwords. Nikki got people to sort all the stolen things. People used stolen credit cards to buy expensive items. Everything was finally collected here. During the tour, Jess saw a necklace she wanted to keep and wear. But Nikki decided it wasn't safe and said everything had to be sold instead. All the items would be sold for profit on the black market. When Jess saw a huge pile of stuff in front of her, she was really impressed by Nikki. It made sense that she felt excited. The next day, Jess and Farhad were walking around a rich neighborhood. Their job was to perform. Farhad suddenly passed out, and Jess yelled, "Please, someone help us." It was a distraction that the rest of the team used to take things from the wealthy people nearby. After finishing the job, the whole team got away by hiding in an ambulance. The whole plan was carried out so well that nobody could understand what happened. That evening, there was a party to celebrate. Nikki lifted his glass and congratulated all his friends. $2 million in profit in 1 week. Tomorrow, the team will break up immediately. All papers will be destroyed. Once everyone is home, they will get their part of the earnings through a bank transfer right away. This was Nikki's way of doing things, treating everyone fairly and not taking any risks to keep all the money. But the older team members knew that Nikki had one final job to do. The next morning, Nikki brought Jess to the special lounge at the stadium. He showed Jess everything they could do to make $1 million quickly. By now, Jess had begun to love Nikki. She believed she was Nikki's girlfriend, and that's why he was sharing all this with her. But Nikki had only included her in the group to help himself. When it was all finished, Nikki gave her $80,000 in cash and said goodbye. Jess looked at him with tears in her eyes. She felt sad because she had fallen in love with Nikki. At the same time, she thought that $80,000 was not enough because Nikki had just made $1 million. In Nikki's world, there was no room for feelings. Jess had finally seen who he really was. Almost 3 years later, a race car arrives at a service station, and we see Nikki again. He looked tired, and it was clear he was running low on money. At lunch, he met George, who owned a race car team. George's research team created a new program called EXR, but he wanted to make it better to boost his chances of winning. He hired Nikki. The plan was easy. Nikki would pretend to be the main engineer. Then, they would pretend to fight between George and Nikki to trick other teams. After that, Nikki would sell a fake version of EXR to the rival team, while George's team would use the real system and win easily. Nikki was supposed to get €1 million for the job, and any money he made from selling the fake system would be his too. Nikki thought this job was a joke. He could have pulled off the scam even while sleeping, but George's butler didn't trust him at all. He openly threatened Nikki and said, "If you do something bad, I'll shoot you right in the chest." So, dressed nicely, Nikki went to the evening party. After moving around the crowd, Nikki and George had a plan to pretend to fight in front of everyone. But their plan didn't work when Jess showed up in a red dress. She went directly to hug George. When Nikki saw this, he got really angry. He couldn't think straight. He hadn't seen Jess in 3 years, and now she was with someone else, the guy who hired Nikki. Jess walked up to Nikki and told him she wasn't tricking people anymore. She said what happened 3 years ago didn't matter now. She also mentioned that George didn't know about their old relationship, and it was better to keep it that way. When Nikki heard this, he got very angry. He grabbed a glass of vodka and drank it all at once. Before, he had hoped to pretend to be angry, but now he really felt angry. The fight with George in front of everyone was not just a show anymore. It was serious. Their fight got noticed by the other racing team, just like they wanted. Soon, security showed up and kicked Nikki out of the party. But now he had the rival team's business card. The next morning, Nikki met the person who owns the McLaren team. He said clearly, I want to sell you the EXR system for 3 million euros. The team owner had plenty of money, so they didn't need to negotiate. He quickly tried the system on the track, and when he saw the results, he smiled brightly. Nicky promised to deliver the full software in 48 hours. At the same time, Jess saw Farhad on the street. Nicky sent Farhad. He told Jess that Nicky had to leave 3 years ago because he had no other option. Farhad also mentioned that Nicky still loved her. He gave Jess a box that had the same necklace she used to like. It didn't matter if it was real or fake. Jess felt warm and happy when she saw it. She told Farhad that she didn't trust Nicky, but her eyes showed a different story. She still liked him. On the day of the agreement, Nicky came and gave the software to the leader of the McLaren team. In exchange, a strong man gave him a box with 3 million euros inside. Nicky liked to take risks and never did anything without them. He secretly sold the same software to every racing team. Every handshake earned him more money. Anyone who shook hands with him gave him millions. Before the race started, nobody knew that every team had bought the same EXR system. That night, instead of leaving by herself, Nicky texted Jess to say that if she got there soon, they could run away together. Nicky waited, but nobody showed up. Just when he was about to leave, Jess showed up. But it was too late to escape. At that moment, the same tough guy who had given Nicky 3 million euros for the McLaren team appeared in front of him. He was actually working for George. He learned the truth. Nicky sold the real software instead of the fake one. He didn't care about the 1 million euros. Now he was dressed in his racing outfit and purposely crashed into Nicky's car. After a bad accident, Nicky and Jess were taken. They were tied up, and all the stolen money was spread out in front of George. George was really angry. He had spent 40 million euros to make that software, and now it was all destroyed. The worst part was that he still didn't understand how Nicky had taken the real software. When Nicky stayed quiet, George pinched Jess's nose, making it hard for her to breathe. When Nicky saw this, she started to cry. He told the truth about everything. He explained how he had made Jess fall in love with him again by bringing back her old feelings. He said he gave her the same necklace she used to like, but this time it had a special chip inside. As soon as George opened the software, a chip took his password and copied his information. Jess was really sad when she found out. Tears fell from her face, but George and his friends began to laugh. They enjoyed the story but didn't think it was true. George then said, "Jess was never really my girlfriend. I know she was just with me for my money." Jess confessed she was just pretending to love George to take his valuable watch collection. Nicky was surprised. Jess had faked her feelings for George to make Nicky jealous. Now both of them got caught. George asked the butler how Nicky was able to steal the software. Just as Nicky started to speak, the butler suddenly shot a bullet. It struck Nicky right in the chest. George's face went white. He got scared and told the butler, "I can make money again, but if I get caught for murder, I'm done for." George quickly let the butler go and ran away from the warehouse. Jess was crying a lot, but the butler calmly said, "Don't worry, I'm really Nicky's helper." Actually, the butler was Nicky's dad. He shot the bullet carefully close to the heart, but didn't hit it. He covered the wound with tape, used a needle to take out extra blood, and made sure the air pressure in Nicky's chest was normal. Suddenly, Nicky woke up. He was alive. It was a wild idea, but it succeeded. There was a big stack of money behind them. All three of them walked out of the warehouse. Nicky was an orphan and had been brought up by this man. He was the one who taught Nicky all the skills he needed. Their rule was easy: never show your feelings. But now Nicky really loved Jess. The butler abandoned them on the side of the road and took all the money. Nicky had nothing left, but on the way to the hospital, he noticed something shiny in Jess's hand. It was a watch worth 200,000 euros that belonged to George. Nicky looked at her. Jess looked at him, and they both smiled. With tricks and clever moves, they would always have enough to eat no matter where they went in the world. The movie ends here. Please, my family, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.